What's up, YouTube? Welcome or welcome back to the Saving Men's Lives Network, where all men and boys are welcome, and our issues are treated with the respect that they deserve, where excellence is our goal, and our enemies are called out by their names. A place to remind you that you are loved, that you do have intrinsic value, and to suggest that you do yourself no harm. Today, fellas, I wanted to reach out to you because as I go through life and I interact with people, it shows me lessons that we can all learn from. And I'll give you an example. Today, I was standing in line behind two young guys. I don't know, because I didn't ask, but listening to the conversation and just looking at the guys, I would say they're either high school seniors or just graduated, or maybe they're even college freshmen. They can't be much older than that. And one of the guys was talking to his friend about possibly reconnecting with an ex. Now, I don't know the whole story. I only heard my part until my food was ready. But what I did grasp without interfering in their conversation was they were going together for a while. Everything seemed cool. And then she was propositioned by some guy she thought was a better option. And so she decided to let my man just languish on the vine for a little while, completely misbehaving. More on that in a minute. And finally, she broke everything off to go pursue this new, in her opinion, better option. Well, that was about 5 months ago. And now all of a sudden she's blowing his phone up with a bunch of hey big head texts. Those of you who've been in the game for a while, you know about them hey big head texts. That's when regret sets in. That's when, oh my God, what have I done? This guy was not the better deal. I screwed up. I got to get my ex back. That's the hey big head text. So anyhow, she's been blowing his phone up, sending them nudes, talking about the good old times. And again, these are young guys. You know, they don't have a whole lot of life experience, and I don't know what their father or uncle or older brother situation is. I don't know if they have anybody in their life who's been there and done that to put them up on game. And I didn't want to get involved because that seemed too much like eavesdropping. But the opportunity to discuss this with you guys is just too perfect. You see, here's the deal. Women, and I don't want any of the guys who watch this program to hate women. It's no point to hate them. It is critical, however, that you understand them, their motivation, their tactics, so that you don't find yourself on the receiving end of their duplicity. Here's how it normally works. Women have what I've termed shiny object syndrome. Ooh, what's over there? Never mind what's right in front of you. Never mind what's right beside you. Ooh, shiny. Let's go explore that. Completely oblivious to the damage that's going to be left in their wake. Now, this guy, to hear him tell it, and if I take his word at face value, he was a good boyfriend to this girl. Treated her well, called all the time, texted all the time. The whole thing that young men are told to do in error. Because only successful things have successful outcomes. So if he did all those things, he was all the stuff that society at large tells young men to do to get or keep a woman, and it crashed and burned. What does that tell you? Well, you can't argue with the results. The simple truth of the matter is, especially for my young guys out there, but you older guys can understand this even more clear because you've been there and you've done that. The woman you've gotten into the habit of calling yours, girlfriend, fiance, wife, She's none of those things. Oh yeah, you may have asked her to go with you. Yes, you may have gone to the jewelry store and bought the ring and got down on one knee and proposed. And for some of you, yes, you did put the ring on her finger, walk down the aisle, and sign the contract with the government called a marriage license. Yes, you may have done all or any of those things. So you are her boyfriend. You're her fiance. You're her husband. But she's not your girlfriend, fiance, or wife. The simple truth is, fellas, she's not your girl. It's just your turn. And for my man in line, the young guy, what I wanted to say to him so bad was, bro, she took your kindness, used it as toilet paper, and then hopped the fence to see how green the grass was on the other side, only to find out the other guy's yard was full of dog turds. And now she wants you to come over and wash her shoes off. I say no thank you. Send her back to the streets where she belongs. And as a young man, take that opportunity and the peace and quiet of her not being around as a chance to build yourself. One plate of food at a time. One repetition at the gym at a time. One extra shift or overnight shift or work the weekend when everybody else wants to go home, or maybe come in on a holiday and get that extra pay. Pick up a second job and build your money up to put yourself in a better position so that when she comes crawling back, and they always do, you've leveled up. You've become a better version of the guy she thought she was leveling up to. Because obviously, everything that glitter ain't gold. Like I said, fellas, we have to be smart enough to understand that when it's all said and done, the best example we can give young men especially about today's modern feminist is that they're a lot like the roller coasters at Kings Dominion or Six Flags. The line is long to get on there. You got 50 people in front of you. You wait your turn, you wait patient. You finally get your chance. You get up there. They strap you in. You take off. You have some ups, some downs. You know, throw a few loopy-loops in there just to keep things interesting. But eventually, for all the adrenaline rushing through your body and the exhilaration of the wind in your face and the sun, and you're just screaming, everybody's having a good time, you're howling, you're scared, but at the same time you're happy. It's a lot going on at the exact same time. Kind of like a relationship. But eventually, things slow down through no fault or power of your own. And eventually you come back to where you started. And they hit the brakes. And the over-the-shoulder seatbelt unlatches. And the guy who works at Kings Dominion tells you got to get off. You ask him why. You having so much fun. Why should I ride in now? I just got here. After waiting this whole time to get here. Why should I get off the ride now when we just got to start and just started having fun? To which he would say, look at that line behind you, bro. It's 100 other mofos who want this seat. Now, some of y'all are picking up what I'm putting down. But for those of you who aren't, let me spell it out for you. Every woman who's pretty enough for you to find attractive, whether it's her personality, her face, her body, or some combination, chances are it's been a half a dozen or more guys in front of you, then there's you, and it's 100 other mofos right behind you waiting for your spot. So do what people who go to Kings Dominion and Six Flags do, my man. Enjoy the ride for what it is. Get off the ride when it's time. And then either A, go home, or B, find another ride to get on. You already paid to get in there. Gentlemen, what we as men need to do, because the dating market in the era of social media has been so degraded, has become so polluted, and the pickings that we as men have to choose from are pretty much at the bottom of the barrel. The high quality women our fathers, grandfathers, and great grandfathers had access to are all on AARP, leaving us with the scraps. Well, I'm sorry, fellas. When I'm hungry and I make my plate, I don't put scraps on my plate. I put fresh vegetables. I put lean cuts of meat, cooked properly, to the right internal temperature. Anything else is a waste of my time. Fill your time with hobbies, with your friends. Not just any friend, but the friends you know have been there for you. Thick and thin, they've been there. Ride or die. You got good family, big them up. Go see them. Reach out to them. Call them if you haven't called in a while. They love to hear from you. And take your time, my man. If you do have a girl in your life that you starting to kick it with, y'all trying to build something, that's fine. I'm not going to discourage you. But what I will say this, take the opportunity to find out what she's about. Find out what she's like when she's upset about something that ain't got nothing to do with you. Find out what she's like when she's hungry. Find out what she's like when she's in a long line. Find out what she's like when a day at the job don't go the way she thought it was going to. Find out what she's like when one of her friends buys the same outfit she didn't know she was buying and they wear it on the same day to the same event. They are that petty. And you should see how she responds to that. Because the chick she presents to you and the chick she is when she's not getting her way are two very different people. The girl you profess to be yours is the girl who is not having a good day. That's when the mask gets loose and gives you a peek up underneath of it. Protect yourself at all times, gentlemen. We're in a fight to the finish we didn't even start. Every guy I've ever met in my life, with the exception of a select few, have only wanted to be good to the women they're romantically involved with. Treat her nice, be there for her, keep it and hold it down. But that's not what today's women want. They want an emotional roller coaster of toxicity. They love to complain about it, but they just can't tear themselves away from it. And if you're not a toxic guy by nature, you got two choices. You can either A, bow out of the dating market entirely, focus on you, build your legacy, build your wealth, and then, hell, grab your passport and go overseas where the women still behave like women. Or you can try to play in this dating market, navigate this labyrinth, this maze of one wrong move, you're trapped, you can't get out. Hopefully there's a helicopter coming to take you up out of there. But my point for you and all you guys watching is this. If you're going to deal with the modern woman, my advice is simple. Listen to what they do, not what they say. Because a woman will say she want a nice guy, she want to do this, do that, yada, yada, so forth and so on. But if you check her whole facts, her last 5 boyfriends have all been tatted up like crazy, got a record, pumped her, dumped her, and left her on red for days and weeks at a time. Those are the guys she gave her body to. I'm doing another episode on that actually, because the next episode on that topic specifically is going to address women's behavior in direct contradiction to their speech pattern. Because there's really only one time you should ever trust what a woman says. And that one time is if she says no when you guys are getting physical. If she says no when you guys are getting physical, or no, don't touch that, yada yada, don't trip, don't sigh, don't ball your face up, none of that. Keep your cool. Stand up calmly. Don't jump up like a crazy person. No, stand up calmly. Put your clothes back on, put your socks and shoes back on, grab your coat, grab your hat, get the hell up out of there. Now, you're going to hear, while you're getting dressed, a whole lot of stupid shit like, where are you going? What are you doing? You going to stop this right there, blah, blah. No. With the world we live in, let her run her mouth all she wants, be unfazed by it, get dressed again, grab your keys, get the hell out of there. Because the last thing you need is to catch a #MeAlso charge. He wouldn't stop when I said stop. Now your life is over. Don't let it be you, fellas. She says no, believe no, and get the hell out of there. Save yourself, save your job, for you college guys, save your education, save your reputation. She says no, take no at face value, remove yourself entirely from the property. Block her number, and let that be the last conversation she ever had. A woman that's into you, that's really down for you like that, will remove barriers. A woman who don't want to rock with you like that will get bricks and mortar and a trowel and build barriers for you to climb up, climb over, and traverse. You guys get it? This is an intelligent audience. Protect yourselves, gentlemen. We're in a one-sided war. A war we never wanted to be a part of. But we can't afford to even think that we're not a part of it, because there's too many weapons they have pointed directly at us. And they will use them on a moment's notice. And with that said, that's my time. Like the video, comment down below. Share this video with a friend, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Never let your brother suffer in silence when the truth can set him free. Networkers, we're working. Until next time.